Hello. Today's video then will be not a special one, but it'll be a different one from the previous kind of videos. It's on the Supreme Sand Table. This time, we're going to be looking at a rundown on basically how many people are participating in the event. We now can kind of work out the numbers based on the tables now. I'll basically show you in game, and I'll go to Excel and show you what I've been working on. And then we can basically see how many people will be in at the end in each rank, what percentage of players that is, and then I'll make a curve, and should be as I said in the previous video, it should be a right skewed curve, so mainly focusing on right skewed bell curve. So most of the people will be past the median point, which is better, which is good because normally in games you have majority of rewards are below the median point, and after the median point there is less players. But this one it's kind of the reverse fixture, which is better. Okay, so how can we work this out from in game? So if you go to Apprentice, it doesn't tell you how many players are in each rank. If you go to Novice, it does tell you how many players. What we can deduce from this though is very good because we know that you can't go down ranks because we've had 2 days of fighting. If you would go down ranks, like it says in the thing here, it says number 9, I believe. Winner will be upgraded to higher tier and loser will be degraded to a lower tier. Well, if this was the case, I assume you can't go lower than the tier you entered in. So obviously these people can't go down. So that doesn't affect anything. But however, if we look in Masters, if these people lost yesterday, because there would have been 256 here, because half went up, half stayed, the 128 who lost here would be going down to the previous rank. So there'd still be 256 here, and it would be 256, 128, 128, but it's not. So 128, 256, 128. Using that mathematics, we can basically assume that that's what's happened to the lower half, the people who started in novice tier, apprentice tier. So now we know there are 2,117 players who got to novice 2. We can assume then there are 2,117 players in apprentice 2, and twice that many in apprentice 1, which should be 4,234 players. So using that maths, we can now use a formula. I'll show you the formula when we go to Excel of players moving up and down. How many players will be in each tier after each day. And we could track this. You can basically look at my spreadsheet and see, well, after on day 3, you can see how many players there are, etc., etc. I'll also do a breakdown of how many players are in each tier at the end to see how likely you are to get that tier. Okay, moving on to the Excel part of the video then. So I just say I did win my game. I am 2 for 2. I'm versus this guy, Panaki. Don't know if that's how you say his name. He won both his games. He won his first one, his second one, 6-3. He doesn't really have pets, so I'm not too bothered. And I don't know if you can see mine. Past. Vacant full. View battle report. Here we go. So as we see, I won mine 9-0. So we're looking good. Weeks versus Opal. So sadly, Opal, fellow content creator and CC, probably will not be progressing through, and we can basically see what that will mean. We got Ataria here going versus Morales in View v Wolf. Wolf from my guild. We have Papa Dog v Kaladraka. This guy used to be a Mystic Bulls, now Phoenix. They were a really good player. I can't fully remember their name. I believe, or was it the Dark Trisco? I can't remember. It's either this or another guy. We've got Amrata v Morris, Jamie v Jeep Sky, Anu v whoever this is, Bestie, Vlad's v Penance, I believe that is. Yeah, Penance 8 from my guild. So let's go to the Excel bit and let's talk about what I was saying. So this is the Excel. Can I? Okay, let's not do that. Okay, we should not have tried to adjust screens. Right, I was going to leave it like that. So Excel, what is what then? So there's just a lot of numbers here. I'm going to go through each. So as we saw in game, day 1, so day 0, before anything's happened, we had 512 people in Novice 1. After the first battle, there was 256 in Novice 1 and 256 in Master 2. After the second day of battle, so that's what these mean at the top. So division is going down. Let me do this. Oh, we'll leave it like that. So division's going down. Actually, we can merge them. Do that. Okay, that's a bit better. So, after the second day of battle, that's what this means. There was what I just showed you, so that's where we're at now. Is 128 in Novice 1, 256 in Master 2, 128 in Master 1. Apprentice 2 then, so it'll be 212, 17. We don't know these two numbers for fact. We'll never know these two numbers unless if you're in those tiers that it shows you. But we will know all these numbers here. So everything from numbers above, we can see all the numbers. So we can make an assumption based on these numbers at the end. But so there'll be 217. So these are what we have at the moment. These are the numbers we can see, so we know these are facts. Now, how do you work out the number for the next day? Well, it's very simple. As it shows in the thing, you do not get demoted, and it's shown that clearly for both events, you cannot get demoted. So, basing that on using that, taking that into account as knowledge, tomorrow in Master 2, there's going to be 192 people. How do we know that? Well, if you see here, we have round down and round up. So it's rounding down the number from the same day rounding down. So the way it works up. So if there's an odd number the previous day, you obviously, if you half it, you're gonna have 0.5s. In this game mode, there is a buy scenario, so you can have a day where you don't fight anyone. If that happens, you're automatically promoted. So every time there's an odd number in it, so for this one, the odd half goes up, so it'll be 1059 will go up, and 1058 will go to will remain. So if there's odd, the odd number, so the extra person goes up. If it's even, and then the other person, and then it's even, stay down. So the way this works is each time you're working out the next day, you have to round down the previous tier of the previous days of your division, and round up the previous days of the division below, rounding to a whole number. so no decimal places. So each day from below, you're gonna get a rounded up version, and from the division below, and from the same division from the previous day, you're gonna get a rounded down number going to the next day, and it will be over. So there's only, from what I believe, only one person each division can have a buy on any day. That's what I believe. I'm not sure if there's a set amount of players per battlefield, if it's 20 in all things. If it is, then it would still be only one player getting a buy, because there would still be other players in that battlefield who would be fighting, so it shouldn't really affect the maps. So, um, we're at the moment, this is our stage. Tomorrow, this is what I'm predicting it will look like. As we see here, totals. Each day, the number is the same. So I have estimated there's 8,980 players in this event. So there's 8,980 players who have completed hard mode 12.10 of the campaign. So perspective, what is that? That is or is it hell? I did think it was hard. Hard 12. So if I just look in game, I'm pretty sure it was hard 12. Uh, Sadly it doesn't say. It did say in the Discord, if I open Discord up quickly. So having so kind of, for me, it shows there's not as many players as you would expect in the game, because hard 12 is not that hard to get to. I know it does say hard 12, but most people can get there free to play in the first day. So we go dev feedback. Obviously, I'm looking. Uh, where do I see it? Yeah, clearing the campaign hard mode 12:10. So you have to have attained a certain degree of the campaign to be able to play it. So not sure how many numbers there are, but again, game of this quantity having 167 servers, averaging, that would average 168 servers now, isn't it? 168 servers. So we do 8980. So let's do it here. Equal this divided by 168 servers. There's an average 53 players per server. Not great, in my opinion. It looks like player base is very low. They do need to do stuff. But again, that's the player base for people who completed hard 12. But in my opinion, I'm playing hard 12 can be done free to play on the first day. Take that with a grain of salt. So, going through the tiers. So we have here what these are. So these red tiers, these are unobtainable on the day. So you can't have, on the first day, you cannot reach Master 2. Because on the start day, you can't be Master 2 because you start either Novice 1 or Apprentice 2. Obviously, the ones between these two are also not obtainable on the day. So these are also not obtainable. So maybe let me do them as well. They're unobtainable. Green. Green tiers are only obtainable. Yeah, so that actually makes sense. Green tiers are only obtainable via, if you're one of the 512 people who started at Novice 1. How to be one of those people? So it is 312 from the top 312 in Ultimate Division. That is from Championship. Top 128 in Legendary Division. Top 64 in Master, and the top 8 in Elite. Um, where can you see? So, Elite. So that excludes the first two divisions, basically. So the first 2 months, you'll never be able to get start a novice 1 or above, and then after that, so the first 2 months, and then from month 3 onwards, you will be able to start at that division. You'll be able to start a novice 1 if you get the relevant qualifications. So continuing from that, so we see there's a lot of red and then the green. So note, this is only for those days. So people who start at Apprentice 2 can reach Master 1. It's just they cannot reach Master 1 on after day 4. After the 4th battle. And they can't reach Grandmaster 3 after the 5th battle. But they can reach Grandmaster 3. They can't reach after the 6th. Sorry, wait, can they reach after the 6th? Yeah, they can, because we reach. Yeah, so you can reach Grandmaster 3 after the 6th battle, however, because there's 2 days between it. So people who start at Novice 1 obtain Grandmaster 3 after Battle Day 3. However, people who start at Apprentice 2 obtain it after Battle 6. So there's kind of like a 2 gap between them. So there's a 2 gap between them of what what you can get. So looking at then the final kind of result. So Mythic can only be obtained by players who start in Novice 1. Chosen 1 can only be obtained by players who start in Novice 1. Chosen 2, again, can only be obtained by players who start in Novice 1. They amount to 46 out of the total, which amounts to roughly 0.512% of the player base can get chosen 2 or above. However, 101 players can get chosen 3, and they can be from people who start Apprentice 2. So if you start Apprentice 2, you can obtain the special gold Felucia animated character card. So for your character, not your avatar, you can still obtain that. Only 101 players can obtain that. Note you can still obtain the green one, so there's 2 tiers. There's a green one and there's a gold one. What I'll do is I'll crop them. I'll display. Let's display. Let's copy and paste them and add them onto this spreadsheet. This is the gold one. And this is the green one. So people and then let's do it here. And here. So these tiers obtain these. So you can have the special green one are these 4 tiers. So we look through here, Grandmaster 1 to Master 1 to Grandmaster 1. And then these are chosen 3 to Mythic for this one. So the total who will obtain this in the end is going to be 46. 147 players will have this special Felucia one. Let's just write this here. So this is going to be equal the sum from here to here, 147, and this is going to equal the sum from here to here. So it's 4,591. So it's still, and then and if we do, let's see what percentage, then it'll be equal this number divided by this number times 100. I could just add these up. I could also add these ones here up, and then this one is going to be this number divided by this number times 100. So 51% of players will obtain the special animated green Felucia, where only 1.6% of players will obtain the special gold Felucia. So that's 50, we'll say that's 53% of the player base will have some animated Felucia model, which is actually quite good. I was expecting it to be more like 20%. Let me just round. Let's just do some rounding. We'll round to 3DP like these ones, so it's more consistent and it is the same as adding these up. So we have the players. Actually, let's just insert. So here we're gonna have players, total players, and then we'll say percentage of players. I really hate not having capitals when it's something like this. So I'll do that. So we get a nice, there is a nicer distribution for players getting these things. I do like it that there's just two types. I like there's a really special one, which is 147 players, and I like there's a mediocre one, but it's still really cool. It's special as it's more unique than the other ones, than other characters because it's animated. I like how that is. A lot of players will have that, which is really good. I like that. And then again, these four tiers, from chosen free to mythic, are the only tiers that give you the runestone selection chest, which have runes from 11 to 13. Every other tier gives you runestone chests from 1 to 10, and they are the half runestone chests. So you only get 5 ones where normally you would get 10 ones, like you do in from chosen free upwards. So there is a little bit of reward discrepancy as well. Okay, so we'll move into the next kind of bit. We've got the percentages here. We kind of looked at the main percentages there we want to look at. Now, starting from apprentice 2, what can you obtain and how can you obtain that rank? Mythic is unobtainable. Chosen 1 is unobtainable and chosen 2 is unobtainable. We have talked about that. I could put unobtainable. Do we do unattainable? Unattainable cannot obtain. Let's do unattainable. Unattainable. So you can obtain mythic, chosen 1, chosen 2. To get chosen 3, you have to win 9 battles. So you have to win 9 out of 9. Let me do 9 out of 9. Right, that's not what I wanted. So we're gonna have to do that manually. 911. Don't want that. Oh wait, that's not what I wanted. Right, let's start again. So that's out of 9, 9, 9. Okay, to obtain Grandmaster 1, you have to win 8. So you can lose 1. So win 9 out of 9 or lose 0. Do I want to add that in? The also is affecting me, not having capitals. Why does win look so weird there? I mean, I know it's right, but it looks so weird. W in, which is win. And then let's just do this again. So we have to win 9 out of 9 to get chosen 3, win 8 out of 9 to get Grandmaster 1, win 7 out of 9 for Grandmaster 2, 6 for Grandmaster 3, 5 for Master 1. So if you want to get the animated Felucia bundle, you have to win 5 out of your um 5 out of your 9 total battles. This is just reminding me one thing I was gonna do. Um, teams. The one thing I was gonna do for this, which I forgot. So, people have been asking like, how, but what teams do you make for these? So obviously I don't need this one actually. So let me do that. No borders. This one need borders. So before we'll continue with this and then I'll go back to this one quickly. So, um, Apprentice 2, 1, and Novice 2 are unobtainable if you start in Novice 1. To get Novice 1, you just don't win anything. You stay there. Win 1 game, and you get Master 2. 2 games, you get Master 1. 3 Grandmaster 3. 4 Grandmaster 2. 5 Grandmaster 1. So notice how we're 2 tiers ahead. So if they or 3 wins ahead actually, isn't it? Because you do start 3 tiers above. So to get Grandmaster 1, you have to win 3 less than people who start Apprentice 2. So you do kind of have that more leeway. Chosen 3, have to win 6. Chosen 2, 7. Chosen 1, 8. And Mythic 9. So only one person can get Mythic, where 9 people can get Chosen 1. So what I'm going to go back to here is just so these ones is one epic team from novice all the way to where's it show me again? Novice all the way up to master. So these ones is going to be this is going to be you're going to use your classic arena team. Master all the way to grandmaster. You're going to use your advanced arena teams. And then the last 4 you're Hello. Sorry, my mic just cut out there for a second. So for the last four, you're going to use your championship arena teams. So therefore, what people are asking, I feel these are the best actual ways to do it. I think you should use your classic arena team here because there's only one team, so you want to use your best team. Advanced arena team here is better because you're using your three best teams you can make, so you're more likely to win 5-4 than you are any other one, and there's no points for how many more wins you get. So how many more battles you win, so it is better. And then championship arena teams, the last one, so you only need 5 teams, so you have to use your championship arena teams. You could use your advanced arena teams and have two bad teams made up of spares, but I think championship arena teams would be more beneficial. Okay, and then we're going to the final thing. What I wanted to do live was make a graph. So I'm going to do this using this data. So we're going to highlight. So we need to have our column data. So we need what it is showing. So the tiers and then the data for it. We're going to do this as recommended chart. So I don't want to. We can kind of see the bell curve here, so we will do that. It is the wrong way though. Oh. Can I alternate? What if I go? That is annoying. We can't flip the thing because that's what I wanted. I wanted to kind of not like that. We'll do the um. So this is kind of what I wanted. But I wanted data values to be let me format chart. I don't know how to swap them around because it's how do I flip it? Let me just do a quick Google search. Okay. Um, what does it say? It says open the format pane, right click the select axis and choose format axes, pane, look for axis option, selection, reverse order. Um, carry in reversal. There we go. That's what we wanted. This, however, I want on the other side. Can we? Uh, what is this number from? As how many people? Not. Uh, Okay, that's fine. The chart table will just be final standing. Um, we do need titles here. Da, 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 da. Go. Um, we're adding axes titles. I want a line of kind of is what I want. No. We'll have axes title anyway. So these are divisions. Divisions. Color wise. What color do we want? I want to make it bigger as well so you can see it better. So these are what basically are nice uh, actually no, I will add them in just purely based on yeah, we'll have that. Grid lines. Yep, they look good. No, we won't have that. Don't want that. Don't want that. Don't want that. It's kind of the best thing, but it's not what I want. I want it to. I kind of just want the area under the curve graph. So I'll leave it like that. You can kind of see the point, like the trend line. If you drew it in, we could kind of draw one in. Uh, where is? Do they not? I think they let you draw it there. It's a shame. Right, okay, so that's that for that done anyway. Let's make it so it fits on as well. So this is our data thing, so we can see kind of like majority of players here. This is the 50. This is the 50% mark is going to be in Master 2, Master 1, sorry. So 50% of players are more on this side than they are this side. So 5 tiers hold 50% of players, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 tiers hold 50% of players also. How do I feel about the amount of players who can get rewards? I actually think it's done really well. I will give them credit. First time I looked at it, I was like, oh well, only like a few people are going to be able to get the first. Only one person top tier, like one person or something for second. But going more into the in-depth maths of it, it looks a lot better. So I'm actually quite happy with this. I am happy that we can kind of deduce how many people are active in this game mode. Obviously, you have to sign up out of these. So out of these, for the ones who started in Apprenticeship 2, the 8,468 had to sign up. In Ultimate Division, there are 312 who automatically enroll. So out of all the ones in Ultimate Division, it's probably more likely they don't participate in this because they're the ones who are kind of like don't really. A lot of people in Ultimate don't really do PvP. That all they do is PvE, which is fine. But there's probably a lot of them who haven't enrolled as well. But this kind of does give me a reflection of how many people are in the game at present. And what I would say this is the closest you can get to determining who is the best player in the game. In my opinion, this is the closest you can get to it. Um, any closing remarks? I wouldn't say any closing remarks as such. I would say it's interesting to see that Apprentice 2 is going to have less players than Chosen 2, which is good. Which is good. So the lowest rewards is actually not going to have that many players in. And then Apprentice 1 is going to have less players than Grandmaster 1. Again, which is good. I like seeing game modes in which players are pushed out of the lowest divisions and pushed upwards just by default. It will be sad for the last 16. So you'd have to go on. So it'd be one, two. If you had 4 more days of battles, Apprentice 2 would only have one person left, which would be sad for that one person. But it is what it is. That's interesting though. Say there was 4 times less players here. To say there was a foul or 8 times less, so there's 1,058. Or say there's only 529 who registered. You have 529, 264, 132, 62, 33, 16, 4, 8, 4, 2, 1. So if it was the number was 16 times smaller, this would be one player. Obviously, you divide that by 16. So it's interesting to see next time how many more players are added on, see what the comparison is like. What I'll do, I'll do a video next time this comes out and just compare the players, see how many players have decided to continue this game mode, see if it's a popular game mode or not. Um, and then go from there really. It to me it's like a very minor game. Like all you do is click, you do your you do your set your teams, and then after that you kind of like there's not really much to do. Just gotta basically you gotta just hope you win or you get a good matchup. You can go against the top players. I would say at the moment at present there's probably only like 5, 6 players I do not want to face early on. So I don't want to face Weak, for example. I don't want to face Faye, Papa Dog, Jamie, Advantix, Ataria, Ilidos, Dewiner. They're like just a few to name. Just 'cause what they're, I know those games are going to come down to, basic. They'll come down to not a stat, but it will come down to basically um who has the more echoes, who has the better pets, who has the better gear, etc. Because we basically all have the same characters, um, same pets, all that. It will just come down to micro things between it. It's like I have a 2-star Anne's Echo, you have a 3-star Anne's Echo, so you're gonna win. Or I have a 1 star. I have a 5 star Marieko. You have a 3 star Marieko. So mine dispels 3 debuffs while yours only does 2. Like stuff like that is what it's going to come down to. Did I not? Okay, this should be players, and that should be on the other side. So, thank you for watching. I hope it's been an informative video. I know it has dragged on. I did have a lot of tangents, but I hope this sort of video reaches out a different kind of audience who are more interested in seeing how many players are in the game, interested in seeing what kind of uh like what you have to do to get a certain prize. So a lot of players I imagine now will be aiming to get Master 1 or above if you start, or Master 1. Yeah, so these 4 tiers are probably going to be the most sought after tiers from people in Apprentice 2, and then these are going to be the most sought after tiers in Novice 1. It would be interesting to see how many players who started in Apprentice 2 do manage to win 9 out of 9. I will say there will be a few, because there'll be players like because this is not does not have your talents or your sanctuary into effect. In theory, you could whale and get basically all the limited pets if you started last month, last week when you had the pet event. You could get all of that, and you could basically have this not not on the same level as an account who started here, but you could have a very solid account, which is probably better than a lot of people who are in this tier, and get good matchups because you'll be going against weaker players, and then here you'll be going against players who, sorry, that's what it is now. Here you'll be going against the weakest of the players who started here, and then here the next weakest, and then so on and so forth. So it is possible for someone to go here, but I would say it would only be a few people, and those would be the Mega Krakens who would be spent a lot in the first week or two to get a very good head start. So when they go through each division, they're just going to be getting first, getting all the top prizes. So when they get to Ultimate, they will have such a big gap, because they would have, if they're winning like all the 7 Segas each day for 365 days, let's say, off the new resources, you're looking at around 5,110 of that new resource currency. Divide that by 150. That's enough for 34 characters to go, who would be breakthrough 8. So you would have enough to make 34 breakthrough 8 characters, which is a really big advantage, because you'll pretty much be guaranteed that as well. Maybe some days you'd drop it, but there'll be a minor gap. Maybe you'd go down to 32, maybe on average, but there will be that minor gap. So I would say at the moment, at present, now is the best time to, if you want to make a new account and be a Kraken, now is the time to do it. Because you can get this event, which can get you a lot of resources every 2 weeks. Championship, you'll be able to get a lot. Get a good guild to do demon conquests. Get those Sotra shards up. Use her early when she would be useful. Get your pets in, etc., etc., and go from there. And obviously you get all the free stuff from the anniversary events, and now is kind of that part. So anyway, thank you for listening. I know it's going to be a 50-minute video. I will timestamp as best I can. I probably will only do 2 timestamps. I'll probably do in-game and then Excel spreadsheet. I may try and do yeah, I'll probably do that. I'm not sure I'll be able to time it, so it's be able to time it between, let's say, this is the intro part of the analysis, the middle bit, etc. But you'll be able to just watch through it. You can skip parts, obviously. If you wanted to, you could literally skip to the end here and just look at the table yourself and take from it what you wanted. But yeah, this is a really informative guide. Really hope that um, I hope that a lot of people actually do look at it and feel not discouraged. For once, in a game mode, I would say this is a game mode where people feel, oh, I didn't start in the higher division, I'm not going to do real well. But you shouldn't have that discouragement that early on, because looking at the percentages, you're more than likely, more you're more than half likely to finish in Master 1 or above. More than 50% of players will finish in Master 1 or above. So if anything, you should be encouraged by this game mode, because all you have to do is win 5 battles and you're in Master 1, and you're like more than 50% of the player base will get that. So try your best, set teams accordingly to this. So obviously epic teams for the first 2 tiers, classic arena team for the next 2 tiers, next 5 tiers your advanced arena teams, and then championship teams for the last 4 tiers. Obviously, last 4 tiers will put you, if you start in apprentice 2, you only have one chance, 1 day worth of that. So most people are going to be probably aimed in these two areas, so advanced arena teams or classic arena team zone. But again, try your best, try and win. Can I give this the percentage symbol? I want to give it a percentage. If I times by 100, what did I do wrong? Oh, that's why. Let me do this. Let me just reformat this. Oh, I wanted the percentage symbol in, so we have the percent symbol in. So I did the percentage without the code, because obviously that's how you work out percentage. There we go. So that is our percentages as percent symbol there. I'm happy now. The third time I've said thank you in this video. So thank you for watching. Have a good one, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.